Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up for you shortly. But don't forget about that subscribe button and bell below you there. Anytime you click those buttons, you'll get notified of any new episodes coming your way. And leave a comment from the comment section there, and we'd love to hear from you there. And go to facebook.com/PaulMashTV Paul Mash TV and follow us there. Send us an inbox and comment on the things you see there. We'd love to hear from you there as well. And we have email as well, paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist and you're interested in being on the show, send us an email and we'll show you how to do that. But we love fan mail as well, so if you're just simply a fan, just send us an email and we'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Salem, Oregon today, we have Andy B. Craigmile. He's an awesome artist, a country artist. And I think you're really going to love Andy, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. But first, here's another quick word from Galtar, the guitar made specifically for a woman. So don't go away. We'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth, one gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Salem, Oregon today, we have Andy Craigmile. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
Hey, my pleasure.
Glad to have you here today. Well, tell us your story about how you started, because everyone has their own story. We'd love to hear your story about how you got into the music business.
Wow. Well, it's a long story, being I'm this old. Well, I started really loving music when I was quite small. My brother and sister were into the rock and roll, the 50s thing, and I loved Elvis. Just that whole sound of him. Wasn't any video back then, but yeah. And then I from there into the 50s rock and roll kind of thing. I really liked that. I was still just a kid. My first band, I think, I don't think I had in high school. And we played rock and roll, old and what at the time was new back in the late 60s. But yeah, it was a cool band. We sounded really good in practice. A couple of times that we played, it could have been better, but we looked really good. We were called Blue Horizon. We had blue Hawaiian shirts and white bell-bottom pants. We looked good. I don't know if we sounded good, but we looked good. But then it just kind of my father was a professional drummer, and so I kind of got that bug a little bit. But my uncle bought me a guitar, and so I had that bug too. And I think I played House of the Rising Sun more times than it actually needs to be played, but trying to impress the girls at that time. Little did I know what the song was about. But yeah, and then when I went in the Navy when I was 19, kind of was still really enjoying Elvis, but I got into Merle Haggard and some of the old country, and I just fell in love with it. I guess you could say I'm more of a vocalist than I am a musician. Been singing all my life. So when I was in the Navy, I started playing guitar. This guy was teaching me how to play guitar. Got with a couple of guys from the South, and so we were doing like some old Merle Haggard, the old man from the mountains coming home, that kind of stuff, kind of real bluegrass, older country, I guess, put it that way. But I love to sing those crooner kind of songs. The more feeling I can put into it, the better. So that's kind of the way I wrote too. Is I wrote more crooner songs than anything else.
All right. Well, that's a great story. I'm glad that you found country music, and hopefully you'll be doing that for a little bit longer.
Oh yeah. When I got out of the Navy, I started a band called the Exit 181. Actually, we started being called Beer Buddies Bargain Basement Band, but
Mhm.
that was too many words, so we became Exit 181, and I was so lucky to get these just incredible musicians to surround myself with. Uh, I was probably the least talented instrumentation wise as the rest of them were, but we made it work and we had a really good sound. And we did some opening for I think at Ricky Skaggs. We did it in the Evergreen State Fair. We played for John Anderson at the Everett Eagles. Just I got to meet some pretty cool people at that time. That was a '90s country, so there was a lot of George Strait and some Alabama
Mhm.
and that sort of thing. And then it just kind of went on from there.
Okay. Well, I noticed you mentioned Merle Haggard, and I think you said Elvis and everything. What were a few of the other people that inspired you?
Johnny Cash for sure. Um, some of the Jim Reeves, that real soft crooner stuff, I just loved it. Bobby Vinton,
Hmm.
or um, hmm, trying to think of, there's so many that were so great back then. Um, I grew up listening to my grandfather's stereo, and he just loved Bobby Vinton, so I heard a lot of him. Johnny Mathis, you know, just real crooner kind of singers. Dean Martin,
Hmm.
you know, so those were influences as well.
Yeah, those are some great ones, and
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I remember I remember Bobby Vinton, listening to his records, when I was younger,
Oh,
and
me too.
especially Roses Are Red. I think those are my top favorite. I think it is.
I'm Mr. Blue was a good one, or
Yep,
Blue on Blue. Those were really good ones. And Chances Are by Johnny Mathis.
right.
Just really soul singing kind of songs.
Yeah, those are some great ones for sure. Well, after watching this video we're about to watch in a couple minutes here, people might download your music on all the streaming platforms or probably on social media. Tell everybody where they can do that, though.
Spotify, Amazon.com, uh, CD Baby. I think I'm pretty much on all of them,
Hmm.
even some that I didn't realize I was on.
Okay. Well, are you the same on social media? Are you everywhere there, like Facebook and Twitter?
um, not a lot of Facebook. I'm more trying to promote my songs than I am myself. At this time in my life, um, I know I'm not going to become a big star or anything like that, but if I could get one of my songs picked up by somebody, or it just played on the radio a lot or whatever, would be great. I'm not expecting a lot, but hoping for something. Again, Chris is a heck of a guy, so he's the one to do it.
Okay. Well, check your favorite streaming media site. I'm sure you'll find Andy Craigmile on one of those. I know he would love you for that. And we're going to play this song in a second here. Why don't you tell us about it? It's called What Love Must Feel Like, and it's a great song. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, um, I met this young lady online, and I noticed her because she had a Seahawk emblem on her page, and I'm a Seahawk fan from big time. So we kind of texted back and forth a little bit like that. And our first date was she was in Salem and I was in Redmond, Oregon, and we watched the Seahawk game together on the phone. So it was a long distance Seahawk game, but we had a lot of fun. So the first time I came to see her, I'd seen her pictures on the website, and it's just gorgeous. And so when I first pulled up to the house to meet her, a song just it's all about that moment. First time I saw your smiling face as I pulled into your driveway. It's in there's part of the song that said that night we sang the songs of love. It sounds a little sensual, but we were singing love songs. She's got a big karaoke system, so we did a lot of singing that night, way into the early morning. So all that's right in the song, and so it just it just turned out to be a great song. And it was really great that Chris chose this one.
Okay, well, it is a great song, and I know everyone out there, I know you're going to love it too, and we'll get to that in just a second. But before we get into that, Andy, we want to thank you so much for being on the show today. We
My
love to have
pleasure, Paul.
we love to have you back again sometime. You got anything?
I would love that. I really would.
Okay. Well, here it is. What Love Must Feel Like by Andy Craigmile, and it begins right now.
Time I saw your smiling face as I pulled into your driveway. You were standing there outside your door, pretty as the pictures that I saw before. Every time I see you, you take my breath away. Every time I hold you, girl, I know you feel the same way. And every time I kiss those lovely lips, you're what heaven must feel like. You're what heaven must feel like. You're what heaven must feel like. That night we sang the songs of love, and I thank my stars above. We sang till the morning light. This is what love must feel like. You're what love must feel like. You're what love must feel like. You're what love must feel like. Every time I see you, you take my breath away. Every time I hold you, girl, I know you feel the same way. And every time I kiss those lovely lips, you're what heaven must feel like. You're what love must feel like. You're what heaven must feel like. If you knew what you do to me, you surely couldn't help but see. You're the one I adore. Every time I see you, you take my breath away. Every time I hold you, girl, I know you feel the same way. Every time I kiss those lovely lips, I know what love must feel like. You're what heaven must feel like. You're what love must feel like. Every time I hold you, every time I touch you, every time I kiss you,